What's going on, you guys? Litman Tuck here with another book review, and we're talking about Life Reset Book 5. Let me just say, I think this is the first book review where I actually had books in the background. I purposely avoid putting books in the background of my book reviews because I just do Audible. Honestly, I just do Audible with the kids and stuff like that. So all the books you see behind me, they're very old. As you can see, I have my part of my Conan collection. I have another bookshelf on that side. But anyway, let's get right into it, man. More greatness from another book. Man, it's really good. So the main character, Oren, he's a goblin, and he's a goblin. I want to say goblin king, but he's a goblin chief, goblin totem, or whatever, and he keeps getting more powerful. Now, in the last book, you know, all the VIs took over, and everybody had to start from level 0. But Oren, he did not. He stayed at that high level, and so finally, he is able to fight. He is able to go around and conquer stuff without being totally overpowered. So in the other books, he was always at a disadvantage and he had to think his way out of the situation. This book is very fun because it's a situation where he's taking over different towns. They're using a lot of tactics and they're being real strategic. Now his daughter, she continues to show that she's a prodigy. So, you know, Oren, he meets Tika. That's his wife or goblin girlfriend, and she's just she's just in the game. But anyway, they had a child together. And so this child is, she's a VI, but she's also more than a VI. And so there's nothing to base her on. And so she's picking up all these powers. She can teleport like her dad. She can hunt. She can stealth like her mom. And I mean, she's just a total badass. But the thing is, the book gets kind of scary because even though Oren is overpowered in the book and he's kicking everybody's butt, his daughter is kicking everybody's butt, he vowed to annihilate her. That sounds like a candy, doesn't it? Let's go back. Annihilator is an evil deity or evil god in the book. And that's basically who he uses. He's a priest of Annihilator. And in the other book, the dwarf, I think his name was Ragnar, he was, he had the daughter by the neck. He was trolling him and acting like he wanted to kill her and stuff. And so Oren got pissed off and he swore that he would not hurt one hair on her head. And so Annihilator, he's an evil god, man. Anytime you give him an inch, he'll take a freaking mile. He'll take a freaking 5K. And so basically after he swore, like, I swear you won't touch another hand on her head, and I'm going back to book 4. And so he's like, hey, oath accepted. If anything happens to her, bad things are going to happen to you, and he will come to collect. So in this book, there's a couple of times where she got real close to getting a scratch. If she gets one scratch on her, all hell is going to break loose. Let me take this off. This is not even on right here, man. So if he gets one scratch on her head, anything happens to her, if one hit point comes off her life bar, then all hell's going to break loose. So the entire book, even though Oren is overpowered and, he's pretty much has most of the fights under control, it's always a chance that one little thing will happen to her. Now let's talk about the dwarf Ragnar. He went to a human settlement and he was like, hey man, these goblins are getting ready to attack you. I'm not even going to try to talk like a dwarf or anything like that. The narrators, they do such a great job. I have no chance of trying to imitate, even though I like imitating stuff. Not on this review. But anyway, he has fought the goblins time and time again. And so he pretty much knows how to fight them. He's a really great fighter, even though he's somewhat of a douche or a prick. He goes to this human settlement. He tries to warn them about the monsters, and they're not even trying to hear him. And he's like, look, I'm trying to tell y'all need to do this and that. And they didn't really listen to him. They listened to him halfway, and they paid a dear price. And finally, Oren got a hold of the dwarf, and spoiler alert right here. So the whole book is based off of the beginning where they had something that will change your race. It is an epic item, like a race change scroll or something like that. And that kicked the whole book off. But anyway, this dwarf is so powerful. He keeps coming back, and Oren is like, okay. He catches him, freezes him, uses the scroll on him, and turns him into a monster and forces him to join his clan. And so that's a very cool twist on the book. But the entire book is great. The armies are getting bigger. Now, here's the thing. I read GameLit because I used to like to play games. I was more of a casual gamer. I didn't really get too much into it back in the day. But, I like me some hack and slash stuff. Like, as you can see, let's see here. Yeah, you see a few R.A. Salvatore books with Drist and Wolfgar and things of that nature. So I like the hack and slash games. But what I don't like is when the games get too big. You have too many people on your team. There's too many armies. There's too many. All you're doing is you're a swarm over a certain place, and then that's it. It's boring. And whenever I'm reading a GameLit book, whenever it gets too big, where there's too many moving pieces, I lose interest. There was a book that I'm going to do a review on soon. I thought it was a great book. It's by D. Russ. And I don't know how many books it has because it stops at book 4. And the reason why I stopped at book 4, because it was just too many moving pieces, too many people involved. The army's grown too large. Now, in this book, yes, Oren has thousands of monsters in his clan. And yes, they are fighting on a larger scale. But the author does a great job of keeping it within him, keeping it within. He doesn't have a bunch of pieces moving around. Yes, there are tactics and things of that nature, but it's still very fun to read. So yes, another A+ in this magnificent series. Make sure you go check it out. Tell me what you think in the comments. And that's all I got, man. I'll see you next time. I'm out.